So let's get this episode of Game of Spoils started. I'm Afterburn, and
I'm Evil Zane, I think.
And I'm Solston.
So
sorry, some technical difficulties.
His camera stopped.
It's great to have the whole everybody back because in that episode, pretty much all the characters were together in the same spot, which has never happened before.
Yeah,
Most of the main players, yeah.
That's the first time since season 1, I think.
Yeah, except for Sansa and Arya and Littlefinger.
Not
They were
even
off doing their own thing.
Not even since season 1, because I guess in King's Landing, but when they were all there, but.
Yeah.
I would say that was the biggest collection of the cast.
Yeah. And the precursor for Clegane Bowl.
Which I was kind of expecting, but, maybe, I guess that's they're like, well, that's going to be next season.
For those of us who don't know, what is that?
I'm pretty sure I've already described it in this show before, but that's going to be the former grave digger, who is Gregor Clegane, facing off against the zombie. Sandor Clegane.
Brother, the mountain.
Oh. Yeah, Gravedigger versus Zombie in the Ring of Death. Buck 99
totally down
nachos,
with
bring
that.
the kids. Yeah, Clegane Bowl, two brothers battled to the death.
That's such a weird name, but okay.
Well, yeah, it's pretty good. It's going to be the sporting event of the
Season?
post-Wall era.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed it didn't happen, but we will see it. They said, hey, I'm the only guy who's going to kill you.
Yep.
That's why you're still alive.
Pretty much. Well, somewhere alive.
Alive-ish.
Undead.
Whatever it is. And speaking of that, remember when they showed the dead man and he just fucking booked it at Cersei with unlucky he had a little chain on him. But I kept expecting Quayburn to pick up part of him and be like, I need this for my research.
Yeah, I think he was looking at it because he wanted to pick up the hand. He was going to do that until
Yeah.
John took it away and used it for his little science demonstration.
He wanted it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is terrified. Like, oh, that's a fucking dead man.
Yeah.
And
He's like, this
just
is way better than
Well, that's
my
his
work.
line of work.
Yeah, bringing dead
He's
people
like,
back.
this is awesome.
Oh man,
This could yield great results.
so the results of that little lamb's meat though, that's a little dubious. What do you think are the chances that Tyrion actually betrays Daenerys? Do you think he's in on the whole betrayal, or do you think he's come to some sort of agreement?
He doesn't eat with Cersei?
But that look that he had when he was down the hall, it's hard to say.
It's hard to say.
I feel like it was more he still doesn't trust his sister.
Probably.
And also it was like, I can't believe I didn't die right there.
Yeah, he was probably fully expecting to die. But he actually said that, he fully did expect to die in that case. He was not going to come out of there alive.
Yeah, actually in that episode, both Lannister brothers were threatened by their sister and by the same
Both were bluffs.
undead mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's going to happen with Jaime now? He's just going to go join the fight with him by himself?
I guess.
think so,
That's
yeah.
exactly what it looked like.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be strange.
He's abandoned his post. He's abandoned his sister/lover.
He's abandoned his cool armor.
His cool armor. Yeah, he ditched the armor. He's on his own.
Yeah. He's a rogue agent.
Yeah, well, no, and then
A free agent,
he'll
rather.
he'll be able to tell him the truth that Cersei's not going to help.
Exactly. I'm feeling that's what's
So at least they'll
gonna
be
happen.
prepared, so they'll know that, okay, once we deal with this threat, we still have to go and kill Cersei. And it's probably going to be Jaime having to kill his sister because, Kingslayer is going to become the Queenslayer too.
He already is, kind of.
Essentially.
Slaying
Oh
that-
my god.
Slaying that queen
puss.
puss.
Oh my god. Can't believe he done this. I guess in that case, John is also the Queenslayer.
Yeah.
Or Queen's Lair.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or should we say, Aegon Targaryen?
Targaryen. I think you should just stick with John.
John.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, he's still John to me.
A much better ring to it.
But and the thing is, next season, maybe the next episode of the next season, they're gonna get that news broken, and
Yeah, once they hit back to Winterfell, yeah.
Daenerys is gonna be, it's gonna be, oh, that's weird, that's kind of weird, but it's like, but she'll be able to deal with it, but John will be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, John will probably have a problem
I
with
just
it.
banged my aunt.
Yeah, but Daenerys, I'm pretty sure in the books she was set to marry her brother before she got sold off to Khal Drogo. So She's already, like, incest is just a part of their family.
Yeah, like growing up as a girl, she just assumed she was going to get married to her brother. Mm-hmm. She didn't really, like, dream about anybody else. Not that she was, like, psyched about marrying her brother. She just figured that'd be the only way.
Yep. Like, oh, we got to keep the bloodline in the family so we can control dragons if they ever come back. Lo and behold.
I don't know if that was the sole purpose. It was just kind of family tradition.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was mostly because of that. Or maybe just the original Aegon the Conqueror really liked incest. Who knows?
They didn't give a fuck.
Or, no, they did, but to their own family.
Speaking of dragons coming back, we saw a piece of Westeros we hadn't seen before, which was the Dragon Colosseum. What did you guys think of that?
That was pretty cool.
Pretty neat. I just don't know how they'd keep dragons in a Colosseum when it's an open-air arena.
The dragons of there were a lot smaller, if you recall.
This is true. They were bred down to the size of cats.
They were chained up, I believe.
Yeah, they were just small.
Wee little things.
Yep. They bred them to be house pets, and then they killed them.
Yep.
Yeah, but I imagine they ran into the same complications that Daenerys ran into when she was in Meereen, that, if they just let them run roost, they'd kill innocent children and livestock.
And they did kind of touch on that as they were walking in there. Jorah actually mentioned that dragons can't discern the difference between what they own and what they don't own, so they just think everything's theirs. Kind of like cats.
Cats assume humans are cats too.
Yeah, we're just dumb naked cats that can't feed ourselves.
But speaking of Jorah, there was a good scene in that episode where he was trying to convince Dany to ride into the north on her dragon because some lone northerner is going to shoot at her. He was just trying to get her away from Jon.
Yep. Hey, Sir Friendzone.
I call him Professor Cockblock. He didn't quite succeed, but he definitely tried.
Oh, he tried and failed, and then the boning happened
the whole time.
What an asshole!
And there was, you're wondering if Tyrion's going to betray Dany because she's kind of getting a little. She's not heeding his advice as much.
She kind of is.
Yeah.
To an extent.
But he was also like under the stairs when they met up.
I think it's a lot more so he doesn't want to betray his family. Like he is betraying his family, but he doesn't want to see his bloodline snuffed out. So I think
he's talking about that look that he had on his face when Jon went into her room.
That's what I was talking about right at the end when he looked really concerned. Like, is that because oh shit I fucked up, or is it oh shit every guy that she's fallen in love with something bad's happened?
Yeah, I think it's concern for both actually, because she went on the whole thing where these heroes they go off and be stupid and die, and then she just goes ahead and falls for the guy anyways, knowing that it's
going to be
it might go that way.
Yeah.
And also Tyrion has a lot of he's the champion of the the disenfranchised, right? And Jon Snow has been brought up from a bastard to a king of the North and possibly king of Westeros.
Right, so heir to Westeros.
So he likes Jon, and he might this path he's taken might lead him to his demise. So he's concerned for both parties, really.
But if everything does go right, which I'm starting to think, I've shit on this season a bit for how convenient everything's working out, how good everything is compared to the rest of the series. I feel like it's the calm before the storm.
Right.
They're doing this to lure us into a false sense of security where everything's going to start working out, everything's going to be great. But that little betrayal by Cersei right at the end there, that's going to set the way for... I think this next season is going to be a whole lot of fuckery that we've come to expect and want in Game of Thrones.
There was no way Cersei was going to not... Like, we were watching the episode, we're like, well, if the North... Or if Cersei helps, then she'll just have an opportunity to betray her enemies like right beside each other, right? She'll just pull some stupid.
But then she said she was going to go get the
Golden Company. Yes.
Yeah. So that was a really good bit of acting there from fucking what's his name, Drowned God motherfucker.
Oh, Euron.
Euron, yeah. Like that was a good segue of these things can't swim. Okay, I'm out. Yeah, how would you have known that before? That played in really well.
I think it was more of like they were going to make a scene because even before anything was said, he was bitching at Theon.
That's true, yeah.
So and
he was just trying to start something.
Either sit down or leave. Like that was all pre-planned kind of thing.
And he's probably told that if they did have the proof to do this and leave,
find some excuse to leave and make it sound like you're leaving the army and going home.
Yeah. Speaking of the Golden Company, they were actually hired to take back Marine from Danny in the book. In the show too.
Yeah,
by
the slavers did that.
And Danny had also had some bought like the Gold Company, who was the Second Sons, which was at the time led by Dario Naharis. Mm-hmm. Did I say his name?
Dario Naharis. It's hard to say his name. He had two different actors. It's fine.
So it's interesting. Like they come up a lot more in the book, but they will definitely have a role to play next season, being ferried over.
It's just one more army of faceless people that no one's going to care about because they're just going to be cannon fodder.
Well, it's actually like in the books, like Tyrion and the Spider, when they're heading to meet Danny, they kind of come against the Golden Company and stuff. They have some some little trials before they get there to show them off a little more. But moving on. So we kind of a character died, and I think it was pretty satisfying for everybody. I wrote down in my notes, Deadfinger, Littlefinger, Deadfinger,
chopped off the little finger. I was waiting for that. They had all the information inside of Bran, and it was just a matter of him telling them, like, yeah, he did this, and then he plotted this. I just watched them all do it right now on PVR.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't see it coming, because this first interaction with Littlefinger, he said chaos is a ladder, which is something Littlefinger said back in season 1.
I think he was just too full of himself, so he didn't expect that. This crippled boy got lucky, right?
Whenever you're doing something, you can't bank on someone can see into the past anything you want. It's like, that's cheating.
Yeah. But then every time he says he's the three-eyed raven, like everyone's like,
I don't know what that means.
Like Sam's reaction, like, I don't know what that means. But it was smart the way they did it, because that's probably the only way they could have actually gotten Littlefinger in that position, is they used stealth and guile and cunning to make it seem like they're all playing into his hand. Right up until they're like, no, we were playing you.
I like that he was like, as Commander of the Vale, I command you to take me back to the Vale where I'll be safe. It's like,
no.
Yeah, no.
And he starts like crying and begging, and that was totally cool to see.
That's really in character. He knew he was fucked at that point. Yeah. His whole facade of confidence.
Sansa, can I just talk to you alone and explain everything?
Yeah. I swear to God, if I can just get you alone without people who to talk sense to you, I can explain everything and manipulate you back into my good books. Fucking guy. It's about time.
Yeah,
I was expecting Arya to carve off his face and become him. Maybe she will.
Might.
She could.
She could. Might. She didn't damage the face, but I don't see any value to it unless you sneak back into King's Landing as him.
Yeah, right. When King's Landing knows he's dead, he's got a lot of pull there. So,
where have you been?
As far as the Lannisters know, they probably know that he's a betrayer, that he's working with the North. But he could just be playing both sides, and everyone thinks he's an ally. Thought.
Yeah. It's a possibility, but she might be busy with. She'll probably help with the fight that is coming to the north. Mm-hmm. Okay. One point it's funny, like in the previous episode of the last episode, it was like, oh look, Theon was a coward. To show that, I'm like, okay, there's a chance for Theon to not be useless, because he's just constantly useless. And he was in the episode, but he's the whole rescuing his sister, which is great, because it's just such a side mission that doesn't matter though.
It's slowly getting his identity back after that talk with Jon.
If he can manage to do that and manage to take out Euron, then the entire Iron Fleet is his.
True.
Or his sister's if he hands it over. But he's getting his balls back, and he's taking control. And once they've got that fleet, well, there we go. There's more forces that are now turned against the Lannisters and against the dead.
True. Yeah, and I didn't think about that, because I'm just thinking, he's just about trying to get his sister back. But that is true.
It'll be a happy coincidence if he succeeds.
He's very useless. That's the only really thing he can do.
Yeah, really. That's the only use he's going to have.
I don't know if I believe in him to do it, but,
Well, time will tell.
I think when push comes to shove, because that look that he had when What's-His-Nuts was kicking him in his lack of nuts.
I expected that, though. I'm like...
Just that look of murderous glee of like, I can fucking kill you now. And then he did. Like, he's going to go from a broken man to a broken psyche, murderous psychopath who might actually become a useful member of society again.
Better learn how to fight first.
Oh, God, yeah, that was so sad to watch. He only won because that guy was so out of shape. Too much salt in his diet.
Yep.
All right, well, my final point for this episode is Well,
the season.
No, the season. Yeah. So the dead have finally crossed the wall, and it's taken them 7 seasons. Like the opening shot of episode 1 was some guys in the Night's Watch finding the dead and being so scared that they run to the north, and then
now
Eddard had to cut their head off for being deserters. And it's like now it's taken them 7 fucking seasons, and they're finally crossed the wall.
The winter is coming. He didn't say when.
Yeah, I was looking at an article actually that pointed out. I have to go back and look at the episode to see if it's true, but apparently when the dead were marching through the wall, their formation was almost the shape of the Stark House sigil of the Wolf's Head.
Oh wow!
Which, that's how detail. I mentioned before, how the Night King kind of looks like Bran. What if? Because then that brings back, the article also mentioned, way back when Bran found out that the Children of the Forest created the White Walkers and all that, that they're like, well, we had to defend ourselves. From who? From you. What if it meant literally him?
So what if that guy is Brandon Stark?
What if Bran went back into the past
and becomes his own grandfather?
And goes back and becomes the Night King. But also, yeah.
And then fucks his aunt. No.
No, that's Jon's territory. He's got that going.
Yeah. And I heard, as it is,
two pregnant queens fighting each other.
you talk. Well, now you believe that she's pregnant?
That'd be awesome. Just 2 pregnant queens, like they just go into labor on the battlefield. That's weird. I'm sorry. Rescind that.
I can see it happening. I totally could.
Oh man, who will win? Whose son or daughter will become the next in line?
But something to support what you were saying.
Yeah.
As it is, you talk with people, like coworkers and people about it, and. So they were talking. People were kind of talking about the Night King. It's like he wouldn't just be some guy. He's the Night King. He would be some kind of royalty of some kind.
Yeah, he was somebody before he got turned. Because we saw him. He was obviously human. He could have been from House Stark. Because the Starks, I believe, were around back then. He wouldn't be a Targaryen because they weren't. That bloodline wasn't there then. But yeah, who knows?
And if he seemed, when the dragon showed up, it was, they seemed pretty prepared for that. Like, almost they knew it might happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, if anything, it was the thing that needed to happen so they could cross, right?
Yeah,
so,
pretty much.
The Night King might have, at one point, had the power to see things that have already happened.
So, in the future, Bran might go back. So, in the next season, Bran might go back, become the Night King. We already have the knowledge of this is why we took so long, because we didn't need to get to the wall because we needed that dragon, and I knew when it would show up and where.
But there is some dangerous if they with jumping around timelines. For a TV show, it's tricky.
Yeah. But the nice thing that they have with this timeline is the ink is dry. He can't change something in the past. If he goes back and does something, it already happened. So the ramifications have already become reality.
I don't know.
Yeah. Just like him calling out to his dad at the Tower of Joy. Which is weird. If he was there and saw that happen so long ago, why did he not
really
know?
There?
Yeah, but he was there and heard what the hell, Lyanna Stark say what Jon's real name is. Why didn't he know that? Why was he like, oh, Jon Sands? Fucking idiot! You were right there. Then you got to do this whole stupid monologue thing over a montage.
Well, in fairness, like. Why would he suspect that his name is not this Jon, right?
That's true, but if he was right there
and he's like standing right next to him allowed in the conversation.
And then Sam had to tell him like, oh, no, it was marriage was annulled, he's got a real name, like this is his name. And then Bran had to go back and double check like, she said her real name, yeah. How did he not go back and see the secret marriage before if he can see everything? Why wouldn't he have looked back into Rhaegar's past?
Just assumed.
I guess.
I think he was more interested in Starks.
Probably.
He wasn't really interested in Rhaegar.
Probably, yeah. I suppose.
Yeah, and it was a secret marriage, so
I guess at least Sam can't watch everything on PVR.
It's a thing where Sam could, he's like, well, the High Septon did it, and so he, knowing those kind of details would help him go to where he needed to go. It's true.
To see
I
guess he has to have some idea to pinpoint a time and place to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't watch everything on PVR without having a TV guide. So, makes sense. Need to know which episode to go back to.
Yeah. All right, well, this ends the season of Game of Spoils.
Oh, unless we do episodes about the Behind the Scenes series, which already has an episode out, but the next 6 will be available only on HBO. So then we have another 6 weeks of Game of Thrones. Just behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Don't expect you to
spoilers.
No, I think that is
Still
gonna
write
spoil
checks you
itself.
can't cash.
Yeah. Oh man.
But I want to thank everybody for watching. It was a little slow at the start, but we got a lot of views towards the end. I appreciate
Thanks
that.
for sticking it out, guys.
I appreciate comments. We got some comments. I very much appreciate those.
If we're wrong about any of these things, let us know in the comment section below. Have a discussion. We want to hear your thoughts.
That absolutely happened. You know, some people messed up some things, mixed up some names. And
I messed up some things.
Which happens.
I know nothing.
Don't so.
Which happens. You know, we're just spinning our wheels here. Sometimes you mess up. It's not, you know. But thanks.
Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and remember, winter is coming. No, it's here.
It's here.
Winter is here.
There's going to be a Dragon that breathes blue fire and a Dragon that breathes regular fire, and they're going to be attacking each other. It's going to be crazy. All right. See ya.
Bye.